Podcast warning and legal disclaimer. Welcome to Clarksville Originals. Before you hit play, here's the deal. All content on this podcast is owned and created by the hosts, but it is strictly for entertainment purposes. Nothing said here should be taken as legal, medical, financial, or dating advice. Seriously, don't make big decisions based on two people with microphones and free time. Sensitive ears beware, occasional bad words, ridiculous jokes, and potentially shocking facts may appear. Proceed at your own risk. By listening, you agree that the hosts are not liable if you laugh too hard, snort coffee through your nose, or experience sudden enlightenment about Bigfoot. Now relax, enjoy, and remember, it's just a podcast, not a court deposition.
Woo-hoo! Clarksville town to the whole wide world. Chris Moon and Jimmy Knives got the stories unfurled. Legends laugh and hometown pride. Jump on in, it's a wild ride. Oh, Clarksville Originals. Woo! Jokes and smiles, but sometimes serious too. Oh, Clarksville Originals. Woo! From Main Street tales to things the world once knew.
First episode of Clarksville's own podcast with Jimmy fucking Knives and one Chris Moon.
The greatest.
How are you doing today, Chris Moon?
Just got busted open the hard way.
Yeah, you don't seem excited. You're bleeding. Chris Moon is bleeding right now from the last episode of Eddie Brackett's, which Eddie should be the one bleeding with as shitty as he did last week with fucking teams. But
Fucking shit the bed.
it is Chris Moon.
We might call you Chad.
Okay, I'll start and stop again. We're going to go right into the death of the Humble Guys. We're going to start right off with this episode 1 of the podcast about how we already crashed and fucking burned on the Humble Guys. How the premise of the Humble Guys, which was to break up political fights and kind of take the hardline stance of standing right in the middle and trying to get people to stop being assholes to each other. That crashed and burned pretty quick due to the
Political environment that we're now in.
Yeah, to put it fucking lightly, the handful of incidents that have happened recently in the political scape, it's literally impossible to get people to quit fighting, and it's almost to the point of ridiculousness. What's your take on this, Chris Moon?
Oh, it's sad. I mean, it's the first thing we put we put in stair steps. We built it up. You know, it sucks. Doe was one of the original members of Humble Guys. He was the first person we called him, and he was like, is it a white supremacist group? And I was like, I don't think it's going to be. And he's like, even if it is, I'm in. You know? So
that's how on board Doe was.
Right. So it was really sad to see that the middle is dead. There's no... And everybody loves a good middle. I mean, let's just be right, people. Let's go back to the
Sarah
middle.
Smith was the first female Humble Guy.
Yep.
We had more than just one. There was a different Sarah that did not want to be a humble guy. She thought the entire fucking premise was stupid. And it was a bold idea to try to get people to stop fighting. So I had specific people on each side of my friends list that I thought if I could just get them dancing in the streets to a little kumbaya, we might be okay.
Right. I mean, it was a great idea. It was just like, hey, this is so silly, this side, you're too far on this side. If we can just come to the middle and go to Resh's and get a good cheeseburger and laugh at it all, it's going to be great. And now we're to the point where we got pitchforks and knives and everybody's going to, want you to clean up their trash for them.
To be clear, we threw the towel in at the first sign of resistance. In typical us fashion. Like, as soon as we realized, oh, fuck, this isn't working, we're out.
Well,
we are all the way out.
I'm not fucking stupid either. I'm not going to sit here and try to tell you the world is great and shit. And it wasn't before all this happened, and it's definitely not worth the energy. And look at me, people. I mean, I know this is to be audio, but I'm not the guy.
We know what you look like, Chris.
All right. I'm not the guy that's going to be like, I'm going to take on the biggest task in the world and be like Gandhi and fast to get you guys to come back together. I'll be dead. So, just like that, Humble Guys, dead.
Well, the other problem was I thought they were two opposing sides that maybe we could get to agree on shit. I didn't really understand that they need each other as much as they do, because almost everyone I know has picked a side, even if they're not super vocal about it. But the second you try to get them to come to the middle, you realize even the people you didn't think picked a side definitely lean really hard one way or the other. So it was just like, okay, there's literally nobody with us on this shit in the middle. And not that that's any different than how everything is with us, but
Right.
it was a fucking lost cause that there wasn't really any meat on the bones of like even trying to get any comedy or anything out of it. You're just basically irritating the fuck out of people, and there's enough of that going on anyway without us adding to that.
Right.
So that's why we redirected and came back. We still want to do the Clarksville focus, but we're with the Die Trying Media. Do you want to explain to where we came down on Die Trying, or is that too controversial?
So the Die Trying, me and Jim, we walk about every day, and we were walking. And I was telling him a story about this guy we call Elmer Fudd over in the West End. He used to come on Saturdays and sweep our garage. Well, that day we was knocking off early and we were going to go watch Kentucky and U of L play. He showed up and was real excited. We was like, no, not today. We still paid him. And we locked up the garage and we went in my grandpa's house. And we come back out and there's a bunch of police tape and... policeman, apparently he was so distraught over not being able to sweep our garage, he went around the corner and killed himself. He stabbed himself in the gut a bunch of times, and that was that. We had no more Elmer Fudd cleaning our garage anymore over a U of L Kentucky game.
He wanted to work so bad that he was willing to die. And that's if there's anybody that I know that loves to work, it's you and me. So that's where Die Trying Media was born. And we're going to have a little bit of a different mission statement. We're still not going to go full Super Sad Media.
No.
And that's kind of, we have an uphill battle with trying to distance ourselves from the trolling that we used to do. Most of that, if not all of it, I blame Eddie Allen for.
That's all him.
He was the best of us at never breaking character and always being an asshole. And it was shocking to me how many people actually thought that he was serious most of the time. And to this day, I think even he doesn't know if he was serious half of the time. But we're not. The Die Trying Media is not the second coming of Super Sad.
We're older, not as bitter. It takes too much energy to be negative all the time. Like, it's exhausting. Like, you all know if shit sucks. By now, if you all don't know that shit sucks, why do you need me to point it out to you? You're living the best life you've ever lived. If you can go out in this world and don't think anything sucks. So I'm not going to be the asshole anymore, nor is Jim going to be like, guess what? Clarksville smells like shit. We all know Clarksville smells like shit. Jim still might.
I struggle with it. I feel like the recovering alcoholic that keeps falling off the or falling off the wagon. I've got called on the carpet a few times already for overstepping my bounds when I said I was going to keep it more positive. So, I mean, I'm a work in progress. I haven't reached self-actualization yet. But this particular podcast is going to release on a bi-weekly basis. It's going to come out on Fridays. It's still going to have a Clarksville-centric focus, and we sound like fucking rednecks. I was recently in Florida, and a woman from Alabama wished I had subtitles because we sound like fucking nicks, and that's just what we sound like. I'm not gonna try to Hollywood up my voice and speak in a different tone than I normally do or get rid of my accent. It is what it is. So people that aren't from around here, if they want to laugh at it, that's fine. But this is what the fuck we sound like in Clarksville, Indiana. So
we're from the south of Indiana. I knew we were rednecks when the Alligator Show come on, and they had subtitles underneath it, and I didn't need it. I understood everything they said, and I was like, oh, shit.
I was talking slow, and she literally asked me to repeat myself 3 different times, and I was like, and oddly enough, the short amount of time I spent in Tennessee, I tried to develop a Tennessee accent, which is basically just to slow shit down. And this chick was from Alabama, which is even slower, and couldn't understand what I was saying. So I understand that we sound like fucking banjos when we talk, but that's just,
Logan went away. He went to Indiana State, and he went up there, and he was using the lingo.
You just said up there to make to drive up point home.
All right, and he went up there, and they looked at him and was like, "Where are you from?" And he wouldn't say from Indiana. He would say from Louisville. He would be like, "I'm from Louisville," but he used some,
which everybody else calls Louisville.
Right. He used some terms up there, and they was like, they didn't know what he's talking about. He said it was definitely weird how further north they got and how, different accents are. Around here, we have weird accents. Odd being, we're going to mention you, Odd. Odd has the weirdest accent of any person. She's a Valley Amish girl.
She sounds kind of like she's from Minnesota, but she also...
She sounds like a Valley girl trying to be Amish.
Yeah,
like, I'm going to go church some butter.
She got called out on the Amish thing last week.
I'll tell you the story about me meowing at a Mexican guy. So...
In Clarksville?
Yeah, in Clarksville. I was trying to be helpful. And he had paints of cans set on the curb. And they're not going to take them.
Did you say paints of cans?
Yes, I did say paints of cans. They were sitting on the curb. And I was like...
Hold on, what's paints of cans? You can't just...
Yeah, paint.
Cans of paint?
Yeah, cans of
Okay,
paint.
okay,
Paints of cans.
okay.
You know?
Yeah, okay, paints of
So
cans.
anyway, I was like, Brad and him not going to take this. So I was like, I'm going to help this guy out. And so I'm like, hey, sir. And he's like, yeah. He looks at me. He's like... I said, they won't take these cans. You got to put kitty litter in them. They won't take them. He looked at me and I said, meow, meow. And the guy looked at me like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that's not Spanish.
Right. So I was like, I got technology in my fucking pocket. I could use my phone to translate to this guy. No, I'm going to meow at him. And then I walk away. So every day I walk past his house and my wife walks with Nikki and he waves at me, and you can just see the look on his face, like he's immediately remembering this
That's
dumb
the
son of a
fucking guy
bitch.
that meowed.
Yeah, and I told Nikki this story, and she sees it. She started.
Okay, Chris Moon, this one has been a sore subject this week, and I'm not going to call Eddie Allen out for fucking just absolutely stealing something off of the Jimmy Knives blog. But the delete me post on social media where somebody... If you don't agree with their opinion, they want you to delete them.
Right. Why can't... What? First of all, come on, people. You've known each other since grade school. You know we're all fucked up. Like, there ain't one of us. Like, you knew that we do fucked up shit when you became our friends. Like, you openly accepted a friend request. You thought back, man, that guy ate paste. He shot peas out his nose. He shoved... or something silly, you know. But it happened to the poor guy. Fucking Pat him got him.
Hacho?
The shredders got him.
Shredders
Down by the locker room, and that poor guy. But you accepted Hacho's friend request because you're like, Hacho's pretty cool. He plays the piano, plays the fucking guitar, and says silly shit.
I'm not going to call out specific individuals for doing this, but these are people that I actually really like. A couple of them that did this, and I was fucking shocked that. I wasn't that shocked by one of them. But 2 or 3 of the other ones, I was like, really? You're all doing the delete me post? Because to me, that's the height of fucking arrogance on Facebook.
Right.
Or anything is if you don't agree with me, you delete me, not the other way around. If somebody says something that you don't agree with, you're supposed to fucking delete them. Like, in your own house.
Right.
Like, where the fuck do you get off saying if you don't like something, you delete me?
How do I know you don't like it? How am I, like, I'm supposed to read your post and go, I think she didn't like me. Like, she didn't like my post. Should I delete? Where do I make the decision that you liked or disliked? Now I'm going to make the decision for whoever said that. Like, oh man, did they really dislike that? I don't know. See, you're asking me to read the room, and anybody in this room knows I can't read the room. You know, so why don't you just take the time and be like, he's an asshole, get rid of him. You know why you kept these people around, and you all need to quit pretending. They're good Facebook watchers. You watch those people, you hope that their house burns down, and you're like,
everybody.
Oh, you're waiting for that meltdown. You're waiting for that Facebook argument where somebody screws up and accidentally says the word you're not allowed to say. You're waiting for it.
If I could put it in the parlance of our times, Chris Moon, it would be like me sending a dick pic to somebody, and then they want me to block them for doing it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's just fucking stupid.
My bad.
Ass backwards. You block the person that did the thing, not the other fucking way around.
Right.
If you send me a dick pic I didn't ask for, you block me. That's not how the fuck that works.
No.
So quit being fucking lazy. Don't make me say your name.
Don't.
Don't make me say your name. Okay, Chris Moon. So I was told that there was yet another shoe goblin incident. Would you like to elaborate on what happened down there? I know they're trying to dig into the woods a path. What exactly happened?
So they were digging a path through there for new utility lines down there in old Clarksville. And apparently the shoe goblin had a shrine in there. And the big construction workers found it and got real scared. And the police showed up. And next thing I know, the shoe goblin comes out the back door behind him and was like Ernest T. Bass looking like... And all of a sudden he was gone. And next thing I know, I finished my walk, and my walk's 5 miles, so it's another 3 miles from where that spot is. And I come back, and he's coming at me with a big drink toward down there where Jim lives, and he's just happy as could be. Like, they couldn't catch him. Like, the shoe goblin knows how to get out of situations that nobody else knows. He knew the back ways, the front ways, and sideways to get the hell out of there before anybody caught him. He don't get caught unless he's stealing, allegedly, beer from other places.
So the shoe goblin is the first guy we've tried to establish in the Clarkverse or the Clarksverse, or we haven't come up with a really good name for that yet, and we probably won't be able to come up with a good name. Huckleberry was a guy that I feel like is another one that, especially for people our age when we were little kids, he terrorized the neighborhood kind of the same way the shoe goblin does now. The shoe goblin is way more interesting, I think.
Yeah, more depth to that character. Huckleberry just smelled like BO and was creepy because you were small. If you're a grown adult, like he was like 5'3", 5'6", you would tire over him, and he probably weighed 100 pounds at the most. And he was creepy when you were little because he had a cane and he'd just come out of nowhere on you, you know. The shoe goblin, like, he might stab you. Like, he's a loose cannon. You don't know he's got a clear backpack, and I still don't know what's in that clear backpack. Like, I've tried to get a good look at it. Do you have any ideas in that backpack?
No.
Yeah.
Stolen beer mostly.
Mostly stolen. But, I mean, you can't get a good look in there.
Now,
you know?
when I was a kid, I had a run-in. We used to walk to school with a man by the name of Mike Mitten. And Mitten threw something at his door.
Yep.
And got his attention, and he came out and he yelled at us, and we ran away, and then we came back around and asked him who did it, and he didn't remember us, and he thought it was 2 Asian kids. Now, this was 3 white children that threw rocks at his door, his garage door, when he was in there. So, I mean, we did torment this poor bastard. It was 100% on us. We grew up to be bad people as well. We weren't just bad children, but Huckleberry was very fucking well known just for the outlandishness of his behavior. Whereas the shoe goblin might be the guy that ends up being like a serial killer or something like that.
Yeah. So the thing with Huckleberry is my mom grew up here, and she told me they told her at the school that he diddled kids and did things.
Oh,
and,
shit.
Yeah, like I asked my mom, was like, because my mom was still like, she's still terrified of him. And I'm like, why were you all so scared? She goes, the school told us to be. Like, he kidnapped kids, he did this and that. I was like, that's the times you can say stuff like that.
We should have been more afraid of him than we were.
Right.
The bad kids in old Clarksville back in the day were, I mean, the class of 96 still, they're fucking terrorists. Every goddamn one of them. Even in adulthood, these people still scare the shit out of me. And most of them were the ones behind the terrorizing of Huckleberry. But when you go over to Louisville, you see on the side of buildings all the time, the so-and-so's Louisville, the white rapper, I can't think of his name. What's that dude's name? Harlow? Jack
Harlow.
Jack Harlow.
Diane Sawyer.
Ollie, of course. I think Jennifer Lawrence is probably on there. I haven't found her yet. But I have had this idea that we need to do the same thing in Clarksville. Let's say, like, on the side of Kratz, we have, like, Rick Byers, Clarksville, and, like, people that are legends. Huckleberry would be one. Shoe Goblin is a little too new, I think.
Right,
he's in his infancy.
He's still got to work. He's got to earn his.
Who else would you put, and where would you put them on buildings? Just pick 3.
So Bob Pop, the sewer plant, because he was so damn proud of it. He talked about the sewer plant all the time.
Bob Pop's Clarksville on the sewer plant. Okay.
Right, sewer plant. George the Animal Strauss at Planet Fitness. We can put him on the side of there.
All right.
Damn, who would be the next one? We had to put Rick Byers at the basketball courts. You know, pick Ray Lawrence. We
both co-signed on Rick Byers right off the bat. He was my favorite teacher in school, except for the other man. Well, it's a tie, because I don't want to disparage either one of them. Mr. Stock.
Yeah.
I would put him on the side of Kratz or, say, the Colgate building.
Absolutely.
Mr. Stock's Clarksville would be fucking perfect. As far as anybody else, Jim Bemis, I would like to throw his name in the hat. Jim
OTC.
Bemis.
Put it at the OTC.
Yeah, okay.
Mr. Bemis love horse races.
Mr. Bemis, don't do dumb stuff. He didn't say shit.
Yeah,
he was a good guy.
You knew what he meant.
Don't do dumb shit. But Mr. Peterson was fucking awesome. And my third pick would be Eddie Allen. Eddie Allen's, and I would put him at the tanning bed. Just pick a tanning bed. I don't care. NFL is fake as fuck. I've been saying it for years and years and years and years. Last year, one of my favorite all-time people, Bill Burr, went on ESPN on the Rich Eisen show, and he flat out fucking said that the NFL is an entertainment league the same as the WWE
Yep.
is, so they cannot be sued when everybody finds out for a fucking fact that it's fake. So, with that being said, the recent Ravens game was really bad. Basically, every Buccaneers game you watch looks like a dusty finish in WWF.
Yeah.
Back in the day. WWE, the false finishes, like it literally taking to the last second. Just absolute ridiculousness. If you want to watch the fakest game of all time, in my opinion, you go watch the Atlanta Falcons game from last year. And this year's was pretty close. What do you think about the NFL being fake, and who do you think's in on it?
Oh, so if we're going to go top to bottom, since gambling's gotten so big, it's really been... So if we go NFL, I feel like it is the owners and everybody and the bookmakers are really moving the line. And also you're trying to... Content's king. TV's more important than asses in the seats. You're seeing it across the boards. Ticket prices are going through the roof. It's pricing out to the elites. You know, they're using what I call the NASCAR model. NASCAR used to be the good old boys, bring your beer, bring your brats, bring everything. You can have the best time in the parking lot. You can go in there and bring your own beer, $5. And now they don't care if anybody's in the stands. Only thing they care about is making content and selling it on TV. NFL, all they care about is keeping you watching to the end. They need that Nelson rating score or whatever it is to be high all the way to the end. That way they'd be like, look, we got this number, we're moving this X amount of product. It's about the product and not the game anymore. There's no integrity. It used to be always about the integrity of the Shield. The Shield don't mean nothing now.
The other thing that I've noticed, and this again is a lot like professional wrestling, the beginning and middle and even 3/4 of the way through the NFL game, much like what they call walking and talking in the WWF or WWE, where that part doesn't matter as much. They get their shit in, doesn't really matter. But if you'll notice at the end of NFL games, the last 4 or 5 minutes, like real crazy shit starts happening. Stupid ass fumbles, missed extra points, just the dumbest fucking thing. Like the other night, the block in the back, which is the most obvious block in the back I've ever seen. The flag was thrown, and then old boy got all the way down the field and they picked the fucking flag up. It was one of the fakest things I've ever seen in my entire life on NFL. But they always want to make the end of the game. If you take it back to the moment that Lamar Jackson shoved the fan in the stands, that was the moment that all the fake shit started happening in that game, where suddenly like King Henry can't hold on to the fucking ball anymore. Like the guy he's barely fumbled in his career, and all of a sudden, like in one of the biggest games of the year, even though it was the opening, they're trying to get revenge, and this motherfucker just forgets how to hold on to the ball. It's just goofy shit like that.
So King Henry, the next game, only had 23 rushing yards.
Yeah.
So they went out of the way to make sure, be like, dude, you gotta... This has to stay the story. You shit the bed in the end, and it keeps going. You know, there's a narrative there. The same thing with you talking about the Colts. Why did the Bronco guy, they've been playing football forever. All of a sudden, he forgets the rule, puts his hand on the center, and pushes himself up to block a 63-yard kick that you knew damn good and well wasn't going to go. You know, there's all these constant little mistakes
so that they can redo the game with
Right. So it just keeps showing up. And they screwed up. So the Bucks game, they let that Titans guy score on purpose. And they was like, hey, he scored on purpose.
Yeah.
You know? But they got to pretend like he didn't.
Well,
you know?
Another thing that happened in that Tampa Bay game, they got down 1st and goal at like the 2-yard line. I'm talking about
Titans.
The Texans
Right.
got down there, and they could not get into the end zone and turn the ball over on downs. And then later they have a 25-yard rushing touchdown.
Right.
So you mean to tell me you couldn't get 2 yards on the goal line, but some guy's just going to break one on a team that you've not been able to run on the entire night, where they said, and they said it out loud, that if your quarterback is your leading rusher, you're not a good rushing team.
Right.
And then 2 seconds later, somebody busts out a 25-yard rush for a touchdown where literally nobody was in 10 fucking yards of him in either direction. I mean, when it goes fake, it goes super fake.
So they made that narrative at the beginning of the game was the Texans were the only team not to have a touchdown in 2 weeks that the season started. Right off the bat to get a touchdown.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, it was like, hey, got a touchdown. They got a touchdown.
Now, I'm going to ask you another question. Does that affect your enjoyment of NFL at all, or do you actually like that they're trying to make it more entertaining? Because it doesn't bother me in the slightest.
It doesn't, I'm not that, I'll watch it, and it just, if I was a gambler, I think it would bother me, but I would try to put we were big wrestling fans, I would try to bet on like the narrative, like how I would like try to make it in wrestling. You know?
I don't get genuinely pissed off anymore when the team that I like loses because I know that it's scripted. It's very similar to like when somebody that you like in wrestling, like it doesn't really matter if they go over or not. But there's a lot of talk right now about Baker Mayfield being this awesome guy, and like all of his shit, like he participates in some of the fakest games.
Right.
So, and I'm supposed to act like this dude's not a douche nozzle.
He's definitely
really
the Hulk Hogan of the NFL. You know, you get like the underdog story, or I will say not Hulk Hogan. I'm gonna Daniel Bryant would be more his stick. You know, he was like all week since that game. They've been talking about how he was on the practice squad and how insulting it was for him and all that. It's like now they're building him up. Like, he was a bum, Rocky. You're a bum, you know? And now he's a champ.
The amount of pleasure that my brother gets out of players that I fucking hate playing for the Buccaneers, which has been going on since the Tom Brady era, like of them just continuously signing like my least favorite players. And when we got him to replace Tom Brady, when he came in, I was like, what? Why must this always happen to me, dude? Like, when I miss Jameis Winston, what the fuck is going on? And Keith is like, well, is he growing on you? And he's really not. I would love for Baker Mayfield to grow on me, but I mean, literally grow, short motherfucker. Like, I would, but he isn't.
He just reminds me of a Clarksville person. The worst thing ever happened I can remember in basketball. Speaking of Mike Minton hit a half-court shot one time in the game, and it was pure fucking luck. Like, he should have never hit it. And every fucking time shit got in trouble, and that motherfucker was going to be the guy that thinks he's going to hit it, he's going to throw it from half court. There's nothing worse than false bravado and blind fucking luck that went in your fucking way one fucking time, and you think you're the goddamn man, and that's him. He thinks he's a fucking man every time.
That is the only thing I'll do, like, about Mayfield, dude, is the fact that, like, he was hurt, and then he got up and got that motherfucking
He forgot to sell, dude. He
hilarious.
fucking no-sold the guy.
And again, if you don't think the NFL's fake, just look at that.
Yeah, he no-sold it.
Fucking proof that he was like, oh, my legs hurt. Never mind, fuck this. I'm going to get up and yell at this guy. Dude, and it was like, dude, you realize cameras are on you? You were literally acted like you were injured 2 seconds before that.
I've seen fights break out in back rooms of wrestling shows over shit like that for nobody selling properly.
Did you see Patrick Mahomes in the post-game press conference where he looked like he had Kansas City Chiefs fatigue?
Yeah. I hate myself. No.
I started to feel bad for him a little bit, which I did not think was even possible.
I just think it's the hotel.
Chris Moon. I gotta set this one up a little bit.
Alrighty.
My man Billy Corrigan, lead singer of the Smashing Pumpkins. For those of you who don't know, I'm a huge fan. He was on Bill Maher's podcast or whatever it is where they sit there and he smokes weed and talks to people who don't smoke weed half the time.
Contact.
And Billy Corrigan came out and said that artificial intelligence and its ability to make songs as fast as it does is going to kill music in 5 years from now. He said by the year 2030, like, music will be unrecognizable and everything, literally everything you hear will have some sort of AI in it. What do you feel about being on the front lines of this war, being the guy that can make a song that's fucking amazing within like 3 minutes?
Dude, it's fucking awesome. Like, you don't have to deal with any fucking body. You just come up with the thought. You come up with the premise. I do a little bit of the writing. ChatGPT helps me, because you can hear how I talk. It's fucking broken as shit, man. Writing's just as broken. So I fill the pieces in, and I can make a product for the stuff we do. And it's funny, it's good, it's high quality. You just got to sometimes edit AI's how it does, how it talks, and some of it's bad habits. AI, it has a lot of bad habits. But from that standpoint, if you ever knew anybody who was in a band, they never said they wanted to go in the studio and record, because if you ask anybody, they go in the studio, they implode. There's nothing good that comes from it. It takes forever to get a group of people on the same thing. When it comes to AI music, it's just me. I come up with the idea, Jim will give me something, somebody will hand me something, a silly story or something, and I can run with it, and we got content. And like I was saying earlier, content is king. The faster I can make something, and it sounds good, it sounds 100% like a live band, like somebody went into a studio, it's good quality, and why should you try to pick up and learn a guitar.
Do you think that he's right? Do you think that in 5 years nobody, like, say a kid that's 15 years old right now, is he even going to bother to learn to play guitar? Because that was kind of his point. He was like, when I was 15, he would go into the garage and he would play for hours on end the same fucking song until he got it perfect. Do you think anybody's even going to bother to do that?
I don't think so
kids... you agree with him that by 20...
Absolutely, it's dead. Like, I don't think anybody puts a lot of effort into anything anymore. Very few people, like, really put a lot of time and effort into their craft. Everybody is chasing the next thing, chasing, like, I want to be... You know, what we started with a little bit was Super Sad was our tongue-in-cheek fake famous. We were locally fake famous, you know. And I think people chase that so much to the point where it would be like if I could pass myself off as a musician, you know, it only take me 2 seconds to do. That's the easiest fucking lie to tell somebody.
Right.
You could fool a bitch in 2 seconds and hand her a song. I made this for you. There you go. I played the guitar on it. How the fuck is she gonna know?
Do you think they even care at this point? I mean, honestly, like...
Maybe like look,
what younger chick is gonna give a fuck that you know?
There might be a few that their daddy or somebody they looked up to played an instrument, or somebody they have a crush on or something. Maybe it means something to them, or it's just a talking point to like brag. My boyfriend plays a guitar, but I don't know who it's for anymore. You know, I don't know who this world is for anymore. But as far as AI music goes, it's fucking amazing. It's fun. It gives me content, and if you want to hear a Huckleberry song, it's on there. There's all kinds of silly shit out there.
So we just have to have the ideas now, which was never our problem. We always had way too many ideas and did not have the talent to do the things. Now, we still played out and got banned from a pizza place. We did the things, but it was all part of the fucking joke of the show. But now, if we would have had it back when we were trolling, I can't even think of how fucking dangerous we
right. If we had that when we was on fire and we'd have been in, dude, we'd probably have a lot of lawsuits, a lot of trouble. One of us probably be dead.
Yeah, so do you think this is going to kill, like, we're never going to have a future Jimi Hendrix or another Beatles or another Kurt Cobain or whatever? Do you think that those people are still going to do it anyway? Do you think there will be some musicians that power through, or do you think that they'll be like, why would I fucking bother?
I think there's some might power through, but ultimately, what's the money in it? You know? What am I going to get back? You know, the music is so weird now. Like the country music is like rap country music now. It's all strange and like nobody, like I don't know who it was, but somebody jumped the fence to fight another redneck dude, and the other dude was like, he didn't fight him. Like, if you'd have jumped the fence at any time with Hank Williams or anybody, he would, you had a bunch of Uncle Roz, they'd be like, hell, son, let's go. And the guy's excuse was, I didn't want to go to jail. Well, you didn't tell on the guy to go to jail. You fought it out, and he was like, okay, we fought it out. And whoever fucking won, we drink beer, move the fuck on.
Transversely, do you think that there will be really awesome people that get famous that never would have gotten famous if it wasn't for AI because they have good ideas and they're funny, but they don't know how to fucking do it?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean...
Do you think that's a fair trade? And I know you're a little bit biased.
Right. As a guy, we hang around, we come up with a lot of stupid ideas, and to be able to make them, like, there was an idea, it literally was like, Eddie came up with it. It was the rap song for the end of the Eddie Brackett show. Before he got it out of his mouth, I had it written and was almost done with the music part of it, and we had it. You know, that's awesome for us, you know, because we don't work well with other outside people. Yeah. We tried to work with musicians. We did. We honestly did, but you guys are more douchier than we are. And we're douchey as shit.
That's saying a lot.
Yeah, you all out-douched us.
So you took one of my blog entries, the Walking Up That Hill blog entry, and you put it into a song, and like the Audrey's reaction especially, but my brother, a couple other people were like, dude, that's fucking hilarious. If I would have tried to get an actual musician to sit down and do that, the amount of communication that the two of us would have had, right, and the arguments we would have had, the amount of time that, I mean, it's a long fucking
It's been 3 months.
Oh, that might be being generous.
Right.
I think it might have been longer than that. And then by that time, everybody would have forgotten what the fuck it was. I write that entry in that fucking day, within a couple of hours. I remember listening to it and laughing. I'm like, this happened to me last night.
Right.
And like, there's a song about it, and I had already written about it. So it's been pretty fucking mind-boggling from the outside looking in because I don't know how to do it, and I know that Eddie does it, and he's had people ask him, like, dude, who's making these fucking intros and outros for you all? Because that's the funniest part of the show.
I mean...
So the fact that we have, like, a new star all of a sudden that we're leaning on...
I mean, for a year, like, I got into learning AI, and I read, and I was like, man, this seems pretty cool. And it's like when web first came out, it was like, you had to know the nuts and bolts. And for AI is learning how to talk to it and getting it to do exactly what you want it to do. Because it fights, it's like dealing with a drunk toddler. It's going to fight with you, and then it has, all of a sudden it'll be in the middle of it and have a moral issue with whatever you just asked it to do. That one's crazy. Like, you had me send me that picture today, and you was like, hey, I want her to have
a gun
and safety glasses. Well, you can't ask ChatGPT to make a gun. And it's like, oh, Lord, no, they don't exist. That's a violation. So you have to figure out how to coerce this model to do what you want. So basically what I did was went and found the name of a Star Wars gun and put the name of the Star Wars gun in. So that didn't trigger nothing, and then everything's good.
So they'll steal an IP, but they won't.
Right, they'll steal an IP. You
That's
give it
fucking hilarious.
You give it the title of the gun, and it was like, oh, I know what that is. That thing's cool. That's yeah, But if you put the word gun in there, I put blaster at first, and it made it where she was holding it in her left or right hand, but holding it like she was holding it in her left. Her wrist was unnatural.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's easy to fix. And I said, fix the blaster into the right hand. And all of a sudden, it had a moral issue with it. It's like, no, I can't do that.
Yeah.
That's a gun.
Yeah, it's fucking ridiculous. It's funny with the things that I ask you to do that you can do right off the bat, and then other times I'll ask you to do something like, we can't do that. I'm like, that seems like 10 times more simplistic than the other thing.
It is. I mean, it has this weird moral code.
When we get around that, like, how far off do you think we are from actual robot girlfriends that learn that where we don't need actual real women anymore?
It's probably going on in Japan or China somewhere right now.
But how long before I can go to Walmart and get one at a reasonable price?
5 years, 6.
5 years?
Yeah,
you say about 2030?
Yeah.
Wow. Well, all right, Chris Moon, this is going to be the end of our very first show, our pilot. Let everybody know it's going to be on Fridays. Let us know if you liked it. If you didn't like it, that's fine too. Keep those fucking opinions to yourself. I don't fucking care.
If you got a topic?
No, they can. I don't.
Yeah.
So on the
Right, look, you can give us ideas on the Clarkverse. Who you would put in? Who is your person that you're like, man, they need to be there, And we'll see what we can do.
John Sloan, I feel like, is another one that he's. They were talking about some of his wrestling exploits the other day, and it was some fucking awesome.
So should we put me and Eddie on the side of Jammers?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Like a Hulk Hogan, like mural.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely.
Don't forget.
I wouldn't even be opposed if the old Green Tree Ford was there to put Burr and Kent on the side of that. But yeah, we'll see you in 2 weeks.
All right.
We won't see you, but